so much noise around the topic of clean beauty. From what I've observed, instead of listening to science, we're accepting fallacies as facts. We're increasingly confused about who reliable, relevant experts are, what sustainability means, and what product safety actually entails too. So in this video, I asked a few of my skincare science communication friends to chime in on this topic. What do people mean when they say clean beauty? Are the ideas presented based on science? And overall, how is this movement impacting the cosmetics industry? From my vantage, the clean beauty movement is an anti-science movement. This denigrating marketing strategy trains people not to trust science, encourages conspiratorial thinking about regulations, and it betrays trust across the whole industry. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you want to support our SciComm outreach efforts, please consider joining our Patreon community. But without further ado, my first question.
Consumers like myself, not that I use this term, but when consumers use the term clean beauty, they imagine a product that isn't full of ingredients that we should be scared of, ingredients that have been shown in some way or another to be harmful. And these tend to be ingredients that have been used by the media to make big, amazing headlines and fear-mongering headlines that draw the readers in. I think consumers link other unregulated terms like natural and organic to the clean beauty movement and clean beauty products, again, not really knowing 100% what that embodies. But again, clean meaning stuff that you can almost like pick out of your garden or pick out on a woodland walk and mix up in your kitchen, because that's attached to an idea, as incorrect as it may be, that is safer than what we have on the shelves in our pharmacies. So a lot of the time clean beauty equals safer cosmetics, which we know isn't the case necessarily.
I wouldn't say that the ideas around clean beauty are based anywhere in reality. Ingredients aren't good or bad, it really depends on the dose and the route of exposure. So for example, if you inhale 2 liters of water, that's much worse for you than putting 10 atoms of uranium on your skin. These lists also tend to demonize synthetic ingredients and give a massive pass to any natural ingredients. So they'll highlight the irritancy of synthetic ingredients over much more irritating natural ingredients. I would say that clean marketing is pseudoscience. They tend to highlight how scientific they are with all the studies that they quote, but they completely quote them out of context and they ignore some really fundamental principles of toxicology, like things that you would learn about in your first lesson. So I think for people who aren't familiar with the science, then it's really easy to see this veneer of scienciness and be completely taken in by this marketing.
Unfortunately and fortunately not. Unfortunately because people are really pushed in making decisions out of fear. And this is really like a psychological game and not a good psychological game. And fortunately they are not based on reality, because being part of the industry, I read toxicological reports, I know the regulations, and I know that the cosmetics that are put on the market and follow regulations are safe. So I live peacefully and happily, and I know I can use the cosmetics that are on the market with confidence. More than driven by pseudoscience, I think it's driven by wrong understanding or misunderstanding of science, like the whole paraben craze that came from the study from 2004 from Darb. Actually, that study never put together the link between parabens and breast cancer. It never correlated the two things together, and it never proved any causation. So it never proved that parabens cause breast cancer, and the study itself actually even analyzed its shortcomings. So that science has been misinterpreted and presented to the public in a wrong way, in a quite lucrative telephone game, I would say.
Before I say that or answer that, what I will say is I want to go back to those 3 things that I as a consumer thought I was getting. I thought I was getting more efficacious products, not the case. Stability testing is not a requirement, nor is it something that any clean beauty brand is really fighting for. Because I'm an influencer and I get a lot of press packs, I can't tell you the amount of clean beauty brands that I get that are completely unstabilized, or, it was really scary when hand sanitizers were coming out and basically none of them had their OTC testing. Sunscreens now are a new one where there's no OTC testing on it. It's one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, just because you take out an ingredient and you have a free from list, it doesn't make your product safe, it doesn't make your product effective, and it doesn't make your product better or pure. And that, I think, is where it's been really damaging to the industry, is that it's the right problem. I think we all want more efficacious, safe, and honest and transparent products. Of course we all want that. But if you're going about it the completely wrong way, and if you're asking for the wrong things, we're never going to get to that final goal. And at the end of the day, banning ingredients that aren't even in your skincare, or at least a reputable brand would never put in your skincare, the often cited 1,300 banned ingredients in Europe. I used to say this, literally looked at that list. Chloroform is on there, carbon monoxide is on there, jet fuel is on there, ingredients that you would never see added to skincare. And even in these bills that are passed by these clean beauty movements have clauses at the bottom saying there are acceptable doses of toxins like mercury and lead because they are found in the soil. And when you process plants, it's invariably going to be in there. The amount of cognitive dissonance sometimes is really concerning. And for me, there are a few places where it's a little bit concerning and where I do not think it is positive for the industry. And for me, it would be along the lines of teaching consumers to mistrust experts. Most women are impacted by beauty. To use an industry that every woman participates in, really concerning. The second piece is efficacious products. When your products are efficacious, you use less. My goal is to get every woman to use less products. Men too. Not identifying people too, everyone. And then the final thing is sustainability. So, for me, sustainability, bit of a contradiction when we're talking about capitalism, but I do think that companies can take better steps, right? There are some that are terrible and some that are better. And clean beauty is ignoring a very inconvenient truth for them, which is farming is terrible for the environment. Why is there this focus on natural products? They're creating a beast around a problem that doesn't exist. The problem, if it's around safety and sustainability, we need to be working with experts and scientists and not marketers. I'm a marketer. You shouldn't be working with me on sustainability. You should be working with scientists and experts and figuring out how to get their message out there. I would say that it has not been a positive impact, but I am really, really hopeful. I'm seeing such amazing brands launch that are really taking into account this nuance. So I'm hoping that that trend continues and that clean beauty starts to work with scientists and experts and starts communicating really what we need to be doing to be moving forward to have more sustainable, safe, and effective skincare.